Hello and welcome to Character Unlock episode 39. With me is your host, John Miller, is
With
the
you,
zombie. With
you
me,
are
John
John.
Miller. Fuck you. I'm starting again. You did
Fuck,
it.
fuck's sake.
You distracted me with your bullshit coughing.
I didn't fucking cough yet.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Character Unlock. This is episode 39. I'm your host, John Miller, and with me is the zombie of Andrew Brooker. How are you, Mr. Brooks?
Oh, fuck. Dude, I'm dying. I've been getting progressively closer to, influenza and death over the last, 3 days. This is going to suck.
Yeah.
Hi, mate.
So, Brooker, after editing this podcast and uploading it, will be in Scotland watching a lot of horror films surrounded by a load of people who aren't yet ill.
Oh, they will be. By the time I'm fucking done with this weekend, everybody in Glasgow will be ill.
Exactly. Assuming you can actually get up there, because right now the UK is having a 3 millimeters worth of snow.
Oh, and it's brought the fucking country to a standstill. The fucking goddamn stupid cunty beast from the east. This sounds like an old Russian female wrestler coming to get you. What a fucking farce this country is when it comes to snow.
Yeah, it's an odd one, really, if you think about it. It's not really worth mentioning, really. This country is a load of horse shit half the time. But let's actually go on to doing stuff that's relevant to what it is that we're trying to do.
Why would we do that?
So, let's jump straight into news.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
news. Everyone loves a bit of news. We actually have
I'm going to eat a
small...
Strepsil, so you carry
Okay.
on.
Let's have a brief news discussion of the two bits of news that we've got for you. And the two bits of news we have for you will start with the good news.
Yeah.
And that EA have decided to pump out Burnout Paradise Remastered.
Yeah, man. Well, they rumored it. It was a rumor a little while ago when some Brazilian site or something accidentally let slip that it was coming out in March, and then somehow it was confirmed that it was coming out in Japan in March, but nowhere else. And everybody else was like, well, oh shit, nearly choked. Everybody else like, if it's coming out in Japan, well, of course it's going to be out everywhere else. And finally, last week they, gave us a little trailer and a release date, and yeah.
Let's bust out some kind of release date ahead of March for the rest of the world. Brooker, you've actually downloaded this, haven't you?
I fucking bought it already. I absolutely adore Burnout Paradise. When you and me talk about racing games, and I go, I don't do sims, I do arcade races, I do pick up and play racing games. Something I can, I've got 10 minutes to play. You know what? I'm going to zip around for a bit and do a race and crash and fuck around for half an hour, and then just turn it off and not care about it. It's not something that's on my mind all the time. Burnout Paradise is that game. I platinumed it on the PS3. I actually worked quite hard to platinum that fucker as well, because
Because there was like 15 bits of DLC that just sort of happened out of nowhere that added trophies and...
Well, the advantage of PlayStation, you see, is you don't lose your 100% score when more DLC comes out.
Okay.
You get the platinum just for doing the trophies on the base game, and the DLC is separate.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember stuff like that because I platinumed so many games and then realized, hang on a second, I don't have all the trophies.
Exactly. But you had stupid shit like get 8 friends online and all meet up in the baseball stadium.
Yeah.
And I didn't have 8 friends that played Burnout Paradise, but I was part of several communities that would help each other get trophies. But to try and organise 8 people in this fucking stadium on this enormous map, where the second you crashed out, you were warped and respawned 10 miles away, it was such a pain in the ass. But yeah, I platinumed it and then kept playing it. It's such a fun game, and it is a game you just pick up and go, I'm just going to have a race. I'm going to talk about another game like that a little later on, but this is they call it the remastered edition. It's basically a port of the refined PC version. So I don't want to say it's a cynical cash-in. It doesn't feel like it to me. It doesn't, but because this is something that fans have been screaming for. I've been screaming for ages. You know, we got the backwards compatible version on Xbox 360, but it plays like arse. It just didn't feel quite right, and most of the DLC didn't work. So, excuse me. So, a proper remastered version, enhanced for Xbox One X and PS4 Pro. You know, I can't want more than that. It comes with all the DLC. And most importantly, and this is the most important thing, it comes out with the original soundtrack, which is just fucking amazing. It's got such a cool soundtrack.
Yeah, it's well, everyone loves the fucking soundtrack to Burnout Paradise. It's probably one of the greatest soundtracks in video gaming history. In fact, I'm pretty sure we actually mentioned that in a much, much older episode. That we talked about the Burnout Paradise soundtrack being the greatest soundtrack that we've ever heard.
Oh, I love it because it's, for me, and again, it's the pinnacle of these racer games for me. It's the pinnacle of the Burnout series for me. I know it's not the same for a few people, but it's soundtrack. Every racing game I've had since, or every racing game I've played since, I just go, soundtrack's nothing compared to Burnout Paradise.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I've loved Burnout since 2 because I never played the first one, but loved 2. Thought 3 was fucking spectacular. I even liked Revenge.
Yeah. But then,
Revenge wasn't terrible.
But then obviously the guys that made it got, you know, they started making Need for Speed games, which had a 50-50 hit and miss rate. But, you know, I like their games. But yeah, it's got Guns N' Roses and Seether and Avril Lavigne on it.
At least 2 of those 3 are a good thing.
What more could I possibly want? But like I say, it comes with all the DLC. It's a Big Surf Island, which was, as DLC goes for any game, Big Surf Island was fucking huge. Added a shitload of events, a shitload of stuff to do, shitload of new cars, shitload of new races. Absolutely huge. And then you had shit like Cops and Robbers, which was just police cars.
Yep.
Police cars and online game modes where you are cops and robbers, basically doing Hot Pursuit.
Yep. Wasn't Paradise lacking in car licenses, which is what probably made the game a little bit more fun.
Well, there's no licensed cars in it at all. It's all about the music with licenses with Burnout. So there's no licensed cars in it at all. But there are cars that look very much like other cars. Like,
yep.
I can't remember what they called them, but we've got the General Lee from the Dukes of Hazzard is in it, but isn't quite. The DeLorean from Back to the Future is in it, but not quite. I'm pretty certain, if I remember rightly, when you're driving around with the DeLorean, if you hit the button for the horn, the wheels come up and you start floating around.
Yep.
It's amazing.
Oh yeah. The DeLorean later added into GTA Online called the Deluxo, which literally is exactly how it sounds. You're driving around and then you press a button and you just fly off.
Yeah.
And if anyone shoots you down while you're in it, it costs them 20 grand to get it for the insurance. It's literally just a way of fleecing money out of people for no reason. If someone's pissing you off, you just fly a DeLorean around for a bit till they blow it up and it costs them 20 grand.
But there's a motorbike DLC for Burnout, which again was a whole new thing. It was, you know, all the races were back and you had a separate license for bikes, which was absolutely fucking mental.
Motorcycle crash breakers would be hilarious.
Yep. And then you had my favourite one, which was Burnout Paradise Toys, where you basically played Micro Machines on a big road.
Yeah.
It was awesome. I got it just watching the trailer. Guns N' Roses came on the trailer, and you just watched this 4K version of Burnout Paradise. I was like, this just looks fucking amazing. I've got a big old grin on my face. Pre-ordered, excuse me, pre-ordered and pre-installed it already. Comes out 2 weeks Friday.
Yeah.
I think March 16th.
Yeah. So pretty much 2 weeks today.
Yeah.
To anyone who's listening to us on release day, assuming it comes out on release.
Yeah.
The episode releases on time. Brooker isn't dying a horrible death. It's somewhere in Scotland.
Or already dead.
That too.
But, and the thing that tipped it over the edge for me actually is I was kind of looking around, and there's a lot of deals going around, and most of them are 31 quid. I was like, 31 quid's not too bad. Should I buy it on disc? I was like, it's the kind of game I won't want to get rid of. It's the kind of game that I will leave installed on my machine, and a year after I last played it, I'll pick it up and go, I'm just going to have a fucking drive around for a bit. Because I think that's how I platinumed it, actually. I
Just
left it
driving
installed.
around smashy.
Yeah. I think I just left the game installed, and a year later came back to it and went, I'm going to fucking finish these trophies, and did.
Yeah.
So, but with my EA Access 10% off, cost me 31 quid digitally. I was like, nah.
Yeah. Can't complain at that.
Can't complain at that. It will be on my hard drive all the time. I ain't got to flip discs. Perfect. Yeah. Really, really happy about that. Really excited about that.
I will probably get it once it goes on to EA Access. Because let's be honest, it's going to end up on EA Access at some point. But
Oh, yeah, of course it will.
with a bit of luck, this game's going to be popular enough that EA go, you know what? It's time. Burnout Paradise 2.
Yeah, I kind of want that, but at the same time, don't. I will take Burnout Paradise 2 if they get all the Criterion guys back in and let them do their thing, and not try and make it, you know. It's the problem Need for Speed had. Need for Speed, as fun as the newer ones were, when it became more about spending a fortune on Bugattis and Porsches, so Forza couldn't have them. You know, when it became that over building a fun game.
Yeah, that was the whole EA license. Let's buy Porsche, and then later on, Forza became the we've got Porsche now.
Yeah.
It was always a bit silly, but I don't know. Some people care about that stuff. Burnout shouldn't. Anyway, let's move on to the arguably bad news. As much as Burnout Paradise is arguably good news, PlayStation Plus membership is changing next year.
This is hot off the presses news. This is, mate. I only got the email this evening.
Yeah, so you heard it here first, unless you have any other source of...
Unless you also have PS Plus.
Yeah. Or any other form of news that will talk about PlayStation Plus in any kind of way. But we have a changing to PlayStation Plus in that next year, PlayStation 3 and PS Vita titles will no longer be part of your subscription and your monthly free games. So it's just going to be your PS4 games.
No, I want my games. No AAA games on PS4.
All that.
Yeah, I don't spend much time on PlayStation forums anymore, but I know exactly what they're going to fucking look like after reading that email.
Yeah, they're going to look at it and they're going to be annoyed and scared and terrified and all the kind of bad words that you get for, simply put, just, being dicks about a reason that's for no reason, pretty much.
Yep. So yeah, I got this email. It says, after March 8th, 2019, monthly games provided to PlayStation Plus members will no longer include PS3 or PS Vita titles. You won't... Excuse me, I'm going to be doing this all through the episode. I'm really sorry.
That's fine. It's not me you're annoying.
So obviously you're not going to lose your PS3 and PS Vita games you've already added to your library. You know, unless you let your PS Plus subscription lapse, in which case they'll all fucking go, and then you'll only get the PS Plus games that you get after you renew. But I see why. You know, the PS3 is 10 years old. They're trying desperately to phase it out. And
But yeah, because they'll be announcing the PS5 at E3.
yeah, almost certainly. They better fucking not. I've just spent money on a Pro, man.
Yeah, they've just released the Pro Edition, and now 1 year later they're going to go and release the next console
Yeah.
with tech that isn't exactly any different or better than what's currently out there, because currently out there isn't exactly tech that's better than the current generation of consoles.
No.
Well, at least not commercially viable anyway. I mean, obviously there's components that are better, but you can't print that easy and give it to everyone who wants to buy one for like £400.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
I'm interested. I'm curious to see what PlayStation do announce at E3 though, because this is a weird kind of shot fired at Xbox, because of course Xbox can't follow suit. Xbox has spent an awful lot of money on marketing, convincing us that Games for Gold is worth spending money on because backwards compatibility, which a year ago I was quite cold on. I liked the idea of backwards compatibility, but didn't really care. Now I'm fucking sold.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I love backwards compatibility.
I've been playing a backwards compatibility game all week. I've got 2 more backwards compatibility games on my list that will be done as soon as I get a chance to get on them. I'm really, really liking backwards compatibility. But with PlayStation doing this, they've kind of gone, right, it's time for us to move forward. Time for our customers to move forward. Come with us or don't. We don't care.
Yeah. This is where they announced that no more PS3 and Vita titles, but you'll be able to play them on your PlayStation 4 if they're all digital download backwards compatibility games, and then not give you any free ones ever again.
What I would like to see actually is for them to go, but if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you can have, PS Now subscription of some description.
PS Now for games that have already been on PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, or PS Now just for PS3 games or something like that. Excuse me, because there's plenty on PS Now for PS3 games that I would like to play again, but I am not spending the kind of money they're fucking asking for because it's ridiculous.
Yeah, not a huge fan of PS Now's. Well, just PS Now in general. Not a huge fan of its idea. The whole streaming of games that costs a fortune.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, I get it. Streaming games pretty decent. But what's the share feature for PlayStation where you can ping your game over to someone else to play it for you while you watch because you're not able to do a section or something?
Yeah.
There's nothing like that on Xbox.
No, I don't know anybody that's used it though.
That's because nobody gets that stuck on video games anymore. They can't do something because video games just make it easy for you if you have a bit of trouble.
Yeah.
As soon as you can't do a section, it makes it easy for you straight away.
Yeah. When it was a thing, when it first came out, I think I hopped onto our mate Jack's PS4 to try it. What's their racing game? Drive Club.
Yep.
Because, excuse me, but of course, didn't work very well because it's a racing game over someone else's fucking internet. Of course, it's not going to work. But yeah, that's the only time I've ever used it. I've never had someone climb into a game for me because, well, I have no shame if I can't do a bit. I just give up and move on to the next game.
Yeah.
But yeah, it will be a shame to not get free PS3 and PS Vita games every month for me to add to my library and never play, but
only really affects people who still have PlayStation 3 or PS Vitas.
Yeah.
And PlayStation Plus subscriptions.
I think a lot of it is probably the fact they've probably run out of... They can see the light at the end of the tunnel, going, we can't keep supplying games for the Vita because we're supplying 2 a month, and there are only 12.
We're running out of titles now.
Yeah.
And they're probably running out of games that they can give away on PlayStation 3 for free that people are still going to keep wanting to play because there's only so many licenses that you just go, you know what, we'll swallow the cost of that for this month.
Yeah.
But that's all I've really got for it. Anything else?
No.
So we'll mosey on down into what we've been playing, I guess.
Yes.
Brooks, you've been playing stuff?
I have.
Mostly walking simulators again.
Well, fucking hell. This is going to annoy me. Almost as much as it annoys anybody that listens to this. I'm going to have to try and edit out the coughing as best I can.
Then you have to edit out you mentioning out that you're going to edit out the coughing.
No, I just have to leave it all fucking in there now. uh, so after I played Gone Home the other week, I went on a bit of a spending spree. And by spree, I mean just spent digital money on sales for games. I didn't really spend that much. But I bought The Vanishing of Ethan Carter. I bought What Remains of Edith Finch. I bought Dear Esther, I think it's called.
Okay.
And these were ones I'd heard of. But when I was kind of going through the list, I was like,
If you like that, you'll like this.
Well, there was a sale on PlayStation. It was like all these games are under £3, or under £4. I was like, well, okay, let's have a look, see what you got. That's why I picked up Dear Esther. But at the same time, I'd purposely Googled, like, is Dear Esther a walking simulator? Because I really wanted to try my hand at a few, just to see what they were like. Because after Gone Home really blew me away, I wanted to play more. And I came across this other one in my Google searching called Virginia, which was, I think it was about £3.40 for that plus the soundtrack. And it's another one of these games that takes 2 hours to play. I was like, check the price, £3. Is it a walking simulator? Yeah. Soundtrack's excellent, like really good. Checked how long to beat, and it says 2 hours. I was like, well, if that's a walking simulator, 2 hours is perfect. So yeah, I sat down Sunday, I think, and thought, I'll give it a bash, see what it's like. What a weird game. What a strange game. So it's kind of, I don't know how to describe the art style. It looks like you're stuck in a PS1 cutscene. Everyone's kind of blocky.
Oh, I was going to say not like an FMV then.
No, not an FMV, but kind of. Imagine what the cars looked like when you first played like Destruction Derby, and they weren't cars; they were just weird blocky things.
Just like a rectangle attached to another rectangle.
Yeah, that's the kind of art style this game's going for. It's
polygons.
I tell you what it looks. I tell you what it looks like. It looks like Super Hot, but not quite as clean.
Oh.
So if you imagine, like, every line in Super Hot is really clean, isn't it? Really clean, really clean cut. It's like, it looks perfect. Well, this is kind of like that if it was a detective story in first person view on a late PS1 title. It's kind of what it looks like. But the thing is, and this is, I had similar feelings about Gone Home. It's not about what the game looks like. The whole point is it doesn't look like a PS4 game or an Xbox One X game. It just looks like you're being told a story. The point is the story, not the thing in front of you. So you play a freshly minted FBI agent who is on a missing persons case, like a teenage boy who's gone missing. But you're not really on this case. You're actually working for the FBI's internal affairs kind of division, and you're actually investigating your partner.
Ooh.
But while you're investigating your partner, you're also doing this missing persons case, and you're finding out stuff about yourself, and it's a very loose kind of story that, like I say, tells itself over 2 hours. But it's not. It's linear in as much as the time doesn't really bounce around outside of like the last 15 minutes where things start being explained to you. But it's not a straight line. It's, you sit in a car for a bit and next minute you're walking down some stairs, and then cut to you being in an elevator, and then cut to you being in the kitchen of the parents of this missing boy, and then cut to you being in bed, and there's a ball in front of you. You know, wait, what? Why is there a ball in my bedroom? Like, not a football, not a basketball, but an actual, like, cow. There's a big cow with horns in your bedroom.
Cool.
It's fucking bizarre. But it feels like it's not trying to be. It is. It's a noir mystery police story thing. It feels like a Twin Peaks episode. I tell you what, it feels like if Life Was Strange was a first-person game set on an early PS2.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
You know how forget the kind of time mechanic in Life is Strange, but how it's very, there's strange things going on kind of everywhere. Somehow you're in the middle of all of it, but you're involved in none of it. Yeah, it's very Twin Peaks. It feels like it's inspired by like Twin Peaks and X-Files, excuse me, and I don't know, anything David Lynch has done. But what's so surprising about it, like I say, the art style is completely weird. Did throw me for a sec. But get half an hour into it and it doesn't fucking matter. Because it's got a couple of like spooky moments. They have this gorgeous soundtrack going through the whole thing, but these gorgeous spooky moments are brought in by this amazing bit of music. And then it jumps to something else. You can't help but be intrigued. Whether or not you like the look of the game, the story is so intriguing. It's so good. And certain things happen, you feel like a complete douchebag for playing this game. You have no control over it. It's not like it's got a morality meter where you can choose to do something or not. You're just there, sitting through the story. But you still feel like such an arsehole at parts of it. And that's what's amazing about this game. It's so emotionally emotive. Yeah, I went, why? I can't believe I'm feeling this bad about something, or I can't believe a game that looks like this is pulling these kind of emotions out of me. It was really, really good. And again, for 2 hours, for £3.50, you know, I've wasted more than 2 hours and more than £3.50 on worse films this year.
You can't be wrong about that one. I mean, there's been some pretty dire films so far this year, and we're only 2 months in.
I really recommend it though, and if it ever appears cheap, I mean, I probably wouldn't buy it full price, but for £3, I like I say, I've spent £3 on worse. I've gone over Asda and spent £3 on bars of chocolate that have lasted less time than that, and I've gotten less enjoyment out of them as well. And I admit, sat and left the soundtrack playing on my PlayStation for a bit, just as a bit of background music. It's one of those scores that I have several of these on my iPad and my phone. I have just orchestral, or just scores, not songs, but film scores. I've got the one from Neon Demon. I've got one now from Blade Runner. I've got the Fight Club one, and I now, excuse me, I now have the Virginia one. It's the kind of stuff I put on when I'm writing, because I need not stuff on. If I'm writing about a film or writing about a game, I need to not be watching something else, but I still need noise. Then
you just end up writing about that.
Yeah.
Literally listening to Slipknot, and then you just start writing out the entire lyrics of Wait and Bleed while you're actually supposed to be writing about Gone Home or something.
Exactly.
Or Viva Pinata.
Yeah. So, music scores, film scores are absolutely perfect for that, and Virginia now is in the list. It's such a great score. Such a great score.
Cool.
But yeah, that's the one game I finished this past couple of weeks.
So, I'm kind of the exact opposite. I've not finished any games in the past 2 weeks, but I have started a lot of games just because why not? So I've started LA Noire. I'll talk about that more once I get around to a bit further than what I did the last time I played LA Noire, which was Homicide. Yep. Okay. So when LA Noire came out on 360, I only got as far as Homicide before giving up. The whole changing discs really really graped with me that back then.
Yeah.
But I'm that far now in the remaster for it, which I downloaded not that long ago when it dropped in price, just after Christmas. Um, 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 we also got um, code for Gravel,
We did.
which is off-road arcade racing game from the same sort of area as what brought us the lovely Monster Energy Superbike. No, Supercross something.
Monster Energy Supercross motorcycle game official things. I
Yeah,
don't know. That
the,
one.
the the sort of roughly from the same guys in publishment rights,
Yeah.
but it's from the Italian studio that brought us previous Superbikes games
Yeah.
and some other racing games. Gravel's actually a lot of fun. We've got voiceover work to be done on it in the future, which was which we'll probably get recording at some point soon to push out. I really enjoy playing Gravel, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
It's generic fun for an off-road arcade racing game. It's not quite MotorStorm levels of insanity, but it's pretty. It's more fun than the most recent Dirt games. Well, obviously not Dirt Rally because Dirt Rally was very simulated, but the other Dirt games, especially Dirt 3, which was the Ken Block
Yeah.
masterpiece, was very arcadey and a lot of fun. So as Gravel, definitely, it's worth playing, but I can't say it's exactly worth buying.
So, because all I've seen of Gravel is the video that we've put together for it, but I can't quite tell, mainly because it's a rally game, so I can't tell if it's doing it on all of it or just bits. Does the car handle differently on different types of terrain?
Yes, different terrains, a car handles differently. Depending on what the video is that we're getting together is it won't show how much trouble I have to keeping control of the truck traveling downhill on mud.
Yeah.
But my God, that was my hands were all over the fucking place trying to keep control of the fucking steering.
It does look like
But
a kind of game, and this is what I kind of mean by arcade races that live on forever for me, like Burnout Paradise. Gravel looks like the kind of game that I will get past maybe the first 6 races, and then after that the difficulty curve will be so high, or at least for me because I can't play racing games so high, that I just don't have fun with it anymore. It does look like that.
from what I've gathered so far, it doesn't punish you for not winning, which most racing games do, where they go, "Oh, you didn't win, so you can't progress."
Yeah. To be fair, Supercross didn't punish you for not winning either. I managed to
Yeah,
finish
but it
the
also
career
wasn't
without
very
ever
good.
winning a game.
It's based on you unlock new episodes
Yeah.
because it's the story. The career mode is done in episodes where you do a couple of races, then you unlock a new episode, you move on to another section, do some more races. It's by completing specific challenges. So in the first one, it's finish the races to get 1 star.
Okay.
Finish in the top 5 to get 2 stars, and finish in the top 3 to get 3 stars.
Okay.
The more stars you unlock, you get you get next episodes. So
Yeah.
by the time I'd finished the second race, I'd unlocked the second episode because I'd come in the top 3 twice. So I'd got the 6 stars that I needed to progress. But all I had to do was come in the top 5 because it was 3 races. So 3 races, come in the top 5. I've unlocked the next episode.
Yeah.
Progress on, those stars catch up together. Okay, yeah, I wasn't getting 3 stars because it started to get to a point where it became winning races as opposed to getting top 3, and I wasn't winning every race, but I wasn't interested in winning every race. I was looking at it going, hang on a sec, I don't need to win every race. I'm not going to restart every race if I don't win it. I'm just going to keep playing. just keep letting it happen unless I royally proper fuck up,
Yeah.
which, let's be honest, I'm gonna royally fuck up at times because it's an off-road racing game which literally punishes you if you start behaving like a dick.
Yeah.
So you'll be driving along, completely, you know, negating the fact that you've got a corner coming up, decide to go full ham into it, and you just launch your car in a big old roll. So there's always that.
Yeah.
Um, you, so that's gravel. More on the way for gravel if you watch this feed.
Yeah. Yeah. Like you said, video to do, video review to hand over at some point. Yeah, shouldn't be too long, I hope.
Yeah, other
Cool.
things can get in the way occasionally. We're not doing this professionally.
No, no, we will get around to it at some point. I'm not killing myself to do it before I head to Glasgow in the morning. But cool. So yeah, should I be sticking it on my rental list? Do you reckon?
Yeah, it's worth a play. It's a fair bit of random fun. I think you'd enjoy it. It's like I said, it's not quite MotorStorm, but it's certainly fun.
Cool.
Plus, they spent a fortune on car licenses, because there's a lot of fucking cars. But because they did that, they didn't spend like any money on tracks or
Yeah.
anything or specific areas. So it's they're named after locations in the world, but it's definitely there's no way of it being obvious that that's even remotely close to where you are. It's not like, oh, you're in Rome, so here's the Colosseum.
Can't even license the image of the Colosseum.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So you've got more stuff?
Yeah, I've also been playing a racing game that
Yep.
isn't Burnout,
Oh,
but it is backwards compatible.
yay!
I think it was on last month's Games for Gold. I downloaded Split Second,
Yeah, split
which
second.
which was made by Disney Interactive and BlackRock Studios, both of which I don't think exist anymore. I believe BlackRock Studios, most of BlackRock Studios went on to be Playground Studios, who now make Forza Horizon.
Uh, yeah,
Don't don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
not 100%, but I'm pretty confident.
But it's back to this concept of pick up and play races. It's you basically there's no licensed cars, although they try very hard to copy licensed cars. There's no licensed tracks. You just drive around the port and the beach. You know, there's nothing big or special about what you're playing. But what it does, it puts you in as a driver into seasons of a TV show called Split Second, where you drive around, you drift to fill a power bar, and your power bar is in 3 sections, and each section gives you the ability to set off a power play, which is an explosion on the track, or something falling on people, or stuff like that, to take out your opponents so you can get ahead of them. If you fill up all 3 portions of your meter and you don't use it, there are certain points of each of the tracks where you can change the track. So I'll give you an example. There's one where you set it off and literally a ship in dry dock, slides all the way down the dock and into the water and totals everything in its path and completely changes the track. So the next lap, the track's completely different. Stuff like that. There's 1 or 2 for each track. But I think there's 6 races of varying descriptions per episode, or per season. No, per episode of Split Second. So you'll have a normal race. You have elimination races, which, exactly as it sounds, just race around until everybody's eliminated. The person in last place at the end of a timer, they're eliminated, and then timer starts again, and you have to not be in last place. You have, I think they're called detonator races. They're basically time trials. You have to finish a lap in a certain amount of time, but the power plays on each track are being set off as you go. So there's things exploding around you. There's gas stations on fire and buses flying across the track and all that kind of. And you really do need a perfect run for these to be in first. I tend to be like second or just third. You have races where you're being attacked by a helicopter. It's firing missiles at you. Or you can be in another kind of time trial-y race. You just race around and overtake lorries who are throwing exploding barrels at you. If you hit an exploding barrel, you crash, you lose time, and then you end up going into sudden death because you run out of time. And then the lorries throw shitloads of these barrels at you.
Nice.
Yeah. But the thing about Split Second is it doesn't feel... cheap's not the word for it. It doesn't feel unfair. I've had like Need for Speed games where you can be in first the entire race and you get to the last quarter mile and some bastard rubber bands straight past you, and I hate that. You don't start in first, you always start back in 8th. You always feel like you have to work to get out front, and you always feel like you have to work to stay there, but you never feel like you're being cheated out of position if you lose it. It's just fun. It's like I'm maybe 4 or 5 episodes in. I'm not winning every race anymore. I'm usually coming in second or third.
From last.
But the thing is, I don't care. It's not stopping me from progressing. It's just letting me carry on the game. And it lets me carry on the game, and I just keep playing, and I have fun. And that's all I want.
Yeah.
So, this is what I need out of my racing games. I don't like Gran Turismo, Forza Motorsport, stuff like that. Sims that just punish you for not being very good. That's not the kind of games I like playing. Silly fucking races where you make a plane crash into a runway that you're trying to race down. That's my bag. Looks fine, I suppose, on Xbox One. It's a 360 game, but there's, it looked fine on 360. It looks fine now. I won't say it looks perfect. There are a couple of bits where you kind of race around. I have on more than one occasion raced into a previously used power play. There's just fire and smoke and shit everywhere, and you just can't see where you're supposed to go. So I ended up hammering into a wall at full speed because there was a turn there and I just didn't see it.
Yeah.
But apart from that, it's loads of fun. It's one of those games like Burnout Paradise is going to be when I sit, the little one wants to sit and play her games on a tablet. The wife's got work to do, and I want to play games, but I've got a few games I want to play, but I can't really play like these ultraviolet things in front of the 4-year-old. So racing games.
Going to see it at some point.
Well, she is, but I'd rather not scar her too early.
Yeah. You know what? With Split Second, being backwards compatible, it'd be really nice to see a game that we never ever will see because the studio got shut down and snowballed, and I don't even think the IP belongs to them anymore. Blur.
I never played Blur. That came out at the same time as Split Second, didn't it?
It was like Split Second came out and Blur was like the week before or something.
Was Blur the one that had like the Wipeout style triggers at the back of the car as your HUD?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I did play Blur. I didn't play it for long. I think I preferred Split Second.
That's what it was. It was really well critically acclaimed, and it was really well received by the people who played it.
Yeah.
But it was fighting with Split Second. You have two games that are pretty much almost exactly the same. One is basically just Mario Kart with real cars.
Yeah.
And the other one is crazy, stupid fun.
Yeah.
That is Split Second.
It's weirdly well polished.
Insanity. Yeah.
I didn't appreciate it, I don't think, when I played it previously. But you look at it, you go, there's no... Obviously, everything's pre-rendered, and they're all the same fucking track. They all look excuse me. They all look the fucking same. So, but there's no pop-in. There's no... Everything just looks beautiful, and it's really fun. I'll be keeping that on the box. I might even try and finish it. I suppose finishing all 12 episodes would class as finishing the game. So,
Yeah, I suppose so. I'll allow it. I guess you've you've run out of episodes, so I guess that's finishing a game.
What is it? Single player career. You finish the career, you're done. Surely.
It's not like you're doing trying to think how many seasons F1 has. I think it's either 7 or 15.
Yeah.
Might actually be 10. So
Fuck
it's somewhere
that.
between 7 and 15 seasons of more or less. Well, you can do 3-lap races, obviously, but
Yeah.
you're looking at 40 minutes worth of practice. Well, 45 minutes of practice, like 45 minutes of qualifying, and
Yeah.
then at least an hour and a half worth of race. That's several days almost. In real world, that is over the space of 3 days.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll allow you to finish all of the episodes of a racing game to say it's finished.
Yeah. That will be like one of the ones that towards the end of the year where I go, okay, I need to fucking get this thing finished now because it's taking the piss.
Trying
To
to think of some other technically really easy ones if you just sort of just do them every so often. Gravel will be one.
Yeah.
I think the Gravel career mode is like 12 episodes.
Yeah.
I remember.
don't
If
know.
I remember rightly from how it looked in the career mode, because the
Yeah.
game pretty much just launches you straight into the career mode. Doesn't
Okay.
doesn't act. You start off with the first race, and then it's at the end of it says now unlocked for free play mode, and then it throws you into the career with a weird FMV of random people who I'm assuming might be real racing drivers. Otherwise, they just got a load of random people to do stock images in video.
I don't know.
Form.
The first guy that turns up in that video, I thought you'd made yourself another character.
No, no. The first guy that showed up in the video, it's just some fucking random bloke.
He,
No idea who the fuck he was.
I thought, have you tried to make yourself like you did in UFC? Because this hasn't worked again.
Yeah. So, split second, good.
Yeah, man. Anybody that picked it up just because it was there with Games for Gold, install it, give it a play. I do remember when I played it on the 360. I think I played it on. It might have been the PS4, PS3. I do remember when I played it. I got to about episode 6 or 7 and went, okay, I'm a bit bored of this now because it's basically the same thing every time.
I think I forgot to download it when it was on Games with Gold.
So I will report back in like 6 months and go, yeah, okay, I gave up. But for a silly pick up and play racer, great fun, perfect freebie from Games for Gold. I can't complain.
Yeah. So now I'm going to cause a lot of people to no longer ever listen to us, and I'm going to say I played PUBG recently, and I'm not a fan.
No?
No, I don't know what it is about it. It just seemed lacking.
Is
I
it
don't know. I
is it
don't
the
quite
type
know
of
what
game
the
that it
fuss
is that you don't like?
I think so. I don't. I'm not a fan of its idea. I think. Don't know. I don't know what it is. I think it's lacking in something, and I think it's the random generation of how the whole game works,
Yeah.
where you can be. You drop in from a random drop from the aeroplane where you choose where you fall out. And then from that, it's you walk around, you try and find stuff, and
Yeah.
then someone luckily drops near you, or unluckily rather, they drop near you, go into a house that you were planning on going into and decided against to, and went into a different one, and they find a shotgun and kill you as soon as you step outside.
Yeah.
But I think PUBG's had its problems, especially on console. Because especially on console, there's been reports of it playing better on original Xbox and One S than it did on the X. Because the
Yeah.
X tries to put a bit too much into it, into a game that doesn't really have that yet. So it's running itself worse. A bit like trying to run some classic games on newer laptops or newer PCs.
Yeah.
Where your CPU is a bit too powerful, and the game just goes, "Oh, I don't know what to do with this resource,"
Yeah.
and just fucks up. But for me, that's what PUBG was, and I think next up's to try Fortnite, but I don't see myself enjoying that the same as I don't really enjoy PUBG. But I have it as it's, you know, not exactly expensive.
Fair enough.
So yeah, Fortnite's really the next battle royale game.
So I
So,
tried Fortnite last week.
yeah,
Yeah,
thoughts?
it's all right. I was talking to a bunch of guys at a training course I was on, and in very typical Brooker fashion, I was sat on the back row just chatting and not really paying attention.
Oh, I bet you pissed off at least one person that I know on that training course.
Oh, probably. uh, I wasn't that bad, to be fair, but I I do like
But
to.
he's very professional, and we're not.
Yeah, as you know from working with me for far too many years, if something goes horribly wrong, I like to take the piss out of it. So when things started going horribly wrong, I fucking took the piss, and it kind of spread like to my left where there were 4 or 5 guys. We just over the 4 days we just had such a laugh.
Yeah.
But 2 of them were Fortnite players, and we were kind of chatting about it on day one. So I used the Wi-Fi at the training center to download Fortnite onto my laptop.
Nice.
And for what it's worth, anybody that's interested, the Nintendo Switch Pro controller can be paired with a Mac, and you can use it to play Fortnite.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so I went back to the hotel. I had dinner and a couple of beers, and then I sat in the excuse me, the hotel playing Fortnite for a bit. Not bad. I don't think I'll buy it. I don't think the battle royale mode suits me. I'm not a one life and done kind of player. I prefer, Battlefield.
Yeah.
I think for a game, and I think PUBG will probably fall into this for me. I don't really. If you have an unlucky game and you're out early on and you just have to sit in fucking spectator mode for half an hour while everyone dicks around, I get bored and frustrated. I don't like those kind of games. It's the same reason I don't play fucking Counter-Strike anymore. You know.
Yeah.
But in no way am I saying it's a bad game. It's beautiful and it's fun, just not for not for me. Not
Yeah.
for me at all.
But the only thing I've got to say for Fortnite right now is that I was watching a Twitch stream of our good buddy Dunny on Fortnite, and I was schooling him in the art of Rusev Day while he was doing it.
Wow.
Yep. So there's that. So
Here you go, mate.
yeah.
I've got breaking news for you.
Breaking news.
Literally more breaking than the email I got from PlayStation Plus. PlayStation have just announced the PlayStation Plus games for March. Mate.
Okay. What we got?
No shit. I kid you not. Free on PS4 from 1st of March. Oh, no, it'll be 5th of March, probably. It's next Tuesday. Bloodborne. We're getting Bloodborne for free. Shit, dude.
That's pretty big.
That's one of those games I've been looking at going, I know I'm going to hate it and I know I'll never finish it, but I really need to fucking play it. Give it to me for free? Shit, yeah, son. I'll play that. They're also giving us the PS4 version of Ratchet and Clank, which I already own and don't really care for that much. Just mainly because the movie pissed me off.
I never saw it.
It was based. Have you played the original Ratchet and Clank?
Yeah.
Right. It's the cutscenes from the original Ratchet and Clank in HD. That's literally what the film is.
Well,
It was alright, but I wouldn't bother. I've not watched it since, and I probably won't. We also get The Legend of K Anniversary. I don't know what that is. That's for PS3. Mighty Number 9 is something that sounds familiar. I've never played it, though.
yep.
Mighty Number 9 you get for PS3 and is cross-playable with PS4. Claire, the extended cut for PS Vita and PS4. and Bombing Busters for PS Vita and PS4.
Cool. I don't know most of those games. It's like they spent a lot of time getting the license for Bloodborne and just went, you know what? Let's just grab this one, this one, this one, and this one out of the bargain bin at the local GameStop.
Oh, is Mighty Number 9 the make them cry like an anime fan on prom night? I think it might be. I think it might be the one that it was so fucked. I believe it was a Kickstarter game, but then it angered everybody when it released a trailer and it said something like, you know, make your friends cry like an anime fan on prom night. which is
awesome.
Which is fucking hilarious, but you can't market your anime game like that, you fucking retards. I might play it just for that. I'm going to have to double check, and if it is, I'm definitely putting the bit of that trailer into the podcast.
But I saved the best for last. Absorption boost. You kill an enemy, and you can absorb their power-ups. Stuff that'll make you faster and stronger, and make the bad guys cry like an anime fan on prom night.
Yep. I don't... yeah, that's definitely a way to market a game. Certainly better than how the next game I'm probably going to play was, you know, marketed. Because I don't even know if it had any marketing.
No, I'd never heard of it when you told it to me, so probably not.
No, the next game I'm probably going to play is going to be Past Cure, because that's what my next rental game was sent to me. Because apparently I'm going to play everything that comes out this year.
Do it.
I don't care. I don't care how good or bad it may be. All of the games are going to be on my Xbox at some point.
I'm apparently playing just games that came out 3 years ago, only last 2 hours, so crack on.
Yeah.
So yeah, for those that are listening...
I'm going to give it less than 2 hours, probably.
Yeah. So yeah, for those that are listening on like the day we release this, you have 3 days to grab Knack, Rime, Starblood Arena, Spelunker HD, Mungan Soul Z, Exile's End, and Grand Kingdom from the PlayStation Store before we get Bloodborne.
Yeah,
Fucking Bloodborne, I can't believe that's impressive.
That's pretty big.
It's quite funny considering, like, it did feel like a troll last month from PlayStation, because everybody, since PS4 came out, everybody has bitched and bitched and bitched that we haven't got any of the proper PS4 exclusive AAA games on PS Plus. And obviously you're not going to get them straight away because they're fucking expensive to make. They need to make their money back. But we did have a couple months ago Infamous Second Son, and not long after it came out we got Infamous First Light, which both exclusives, both decent things. But anyway, people still fucking bitch. So last month they gave us Knack, the worst game on PS4 by quite a long fucking margin.
Nice.
It is their worst exclusive in my opinion. It's just fucking terrible. So it did feel like a bit of a, well, you asked for it, now you got it, you cunts.
Have all the exclusives, especially the ones you hate.
Yeah. So them doing Bloodborne, actually, that's quite a, yeah. I'm happy with that. I'll never fucking finish it, but I'll give it a try at least. But yeah, I'm done gushing over PS Plus stuff.
Yeah, PS Plus. Both good and bad in this episode.
Yeah.
Not often we get that.
No.
So, I guess we're kind of done.
Yeah.
Ish. Makes sense.
Yeah. Kind of segues nicely into recommendations, I suppose, doesn't it?
Yeah. So, what are we recommending then, Mr. Brooks?
Until March 16th, you can still grab Assassin's Creed Chronicles India on Xbox One, I believe.
Well, it's not going to be
360,
360, is it?
No. With Games for Gold. So I can't speak to their quality. Everybody I know that's played them has said they're fun and they're good if you're an Assassin's Creed fan. I just never got around to playing them. I will.
Well, it's the second one that's come up because we've had China before. Now we've got India.
I own all three on PS4. I don't even know how.
Okay.
I went to see. I was going to download one because I'm pretty sure I got one of them free after the Assassin's Creed Unity complete fuck up. But then somehow I ended up with parts 2 and 3 as well that I don't remember buying. So I have all of them. I just don't know how. I just haven't gotten around to playing them. But again, they can't. I don't think they're very long, so they might go into my list of games to finish this year.
So, and I'm going to recommend a game that's out tomorrow for us and yesterday for you. As from the 1st till the 31st of March, so the entirety of March, you
Yeah.
can get Trials of the Blood Dragon, which
Yeah.
is Trials in the Blood Dragon universe. The Blood Dragon universe being the Far Cry 80s futuristic VHS tape
Yeah.
with Rex Power Colt.
Yeah. Yeah, Michael Bean.
Yeah,
That game was fucking great.
I want that game again. Is it?
It's backwards compatible. I've got it on my list.
It's. I was going to say it's maybe backwards compatible, but I've already platinumed it.
Did I platinum it? No, I don't think I did. I think I just played it. I think I enjoyed it and I loved the comedy in it, but I couldn't be asked to go around and clean it up. I don't know why.
Because you realise that as you get around and walking around, it gets to a certain point where you can't just keep throwing hearts, shouting "Here, kitty, kitty."
Yeah.
It does. It does get old eventually.
It's so fucking stupid. I love it. It's got that level of comedy in it that like Duke Nukem had, and shit. It's just crass, fucking nonsense. But because it only lasts about 6 hours, it's perfect.
I was going to say the story is like maybe 3 missions.
Yeah.
It's the rest of the game that's fucking brilliant.
But it's the little things in Blood Dragon where you lob a grenade and then Michael Bean's robotic arm throws the finger at the same time.
Yep.
It's amazing. Talking of that, did you see the Far Cry 5 Season Pass stuff?
No. You know what? As much as I really love and want Far Cry 5, based on the 20 minutes worth of gameplay I have of it,
Yeah.
I've not looked into it in any way because I'm trying to avoid all kinds of possible spoiling to it.
Well, this is the really cool thing, right, about the Far Cry 5 Season Pass. I'm trying desperately to get to it and talk to you about it at the same time. So you have Far Cry 5, which is Far Cry 5. It's set in Middle America and it's pissing off all the Americans. Great.
Yep.
There are 3 expansions that come with the Far Cry 5 Season Pass.
Okay.
Actually, I tell you what isn't mentioned in most of the stuff with Far Cry 5 is the fact that it does have multiplayer.
Yeah.
The multiplayer is a bit crap, but a couple of them, it's TDM, almost permanently TDM. It's a bit shit. It'll probably have 3 trophies assigned to it just to make you go and play them, and that'll be it. But I've played some of it, I QA tested some of it, and it's crap. But one of the missions, it looks like you're in a 1980s nightclub, and again, it looks like super hot. It's fucking insane, but it's a lot of fun. Anyway, the Far Cry 5 Season Pass has 3 expansions. One is called Living Dead Zombies. Yep, so it's a zombie one. We have Hours of Darkness, which will take you to Vietnam.
Ooh.
I believe in the Vietnam War. And we have, I shit you not, Lost on Mars.
That's fucking brilliant. Okay.
So absolutely fuck all to do with the rest of the story. Zombies, Vietnam War, and Mars.
Yep.
Also,
Sold.
comes with, for free, which will be paid for a month later. I believe we get a month early access to it, and it comes as part of the Season Pass. The re-released, remastered Far Cry 3.
Nice. Now, I want to know what the expansion standalone map game is going to be. So with Blood Dragon on 3, you had Primal for 4. I'm kind of half interested in what they're going to do next, because if
Primal
it's Blood...
was a proper boxed game, though, was it? It wasn't really an expansion for 4, was it?
Well, Blood Dragon, it was a boxed game as well. You didn't need to have 3 to play Blood Dragon.
I suppose. I never played Primal. I had no interest in it. Like none
because
at all.
it was a really shit Torok.
Pretty much. Considering Torok is a really shit Torok, I don't need anything shitter than that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It depends how big these expansions are, because they're all going to be standalone. They're all going to be, I don't know. I guess they're going to be quite big.
I mean, in theory, all they need to do for the zombie one is zombies.
Yeah.
For the Mars one, they just need to change the terrain to red. And get rid of the trees.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's something you can do in Paint.
Yeah.
Just fill color of green to red, and everything else. Get rid of water.
So I don't know. I don't know if we get anything extra after that. I'm hoping Ubisoft just don't fuck it up. That's all I'm asking, to be honest.
Well, they are an odd coin flip of a company. It's either they're going to fuck it up really badly, or B, it's going to be one of the greatest games they've ever released.
Yep.
And it really is it's a coin flip, and it's not only that, it's actually a coin flip just in the Far Cry games. Because 3 was fucking spectacular, Blood Dragon was brilliant, 4 was not, and Primal was also not really.
4 I liked. I finished 4 but didn't platinum it. I platinumed 3. That took fucking ages. My biggest disappointment in 3 was I don't really want to ruin it. I know it's like 5 years old, but I don't want to spoil it. That it doesn't end the way you expect it to end, and things happen at about the midpoint of the game that really disappointed me, and I was like, oh, now it just feels generic.
Well, I think we can spoil it maybe once it comes out on part of the backwards compatible early access Far Cry 5 thing. Because I've not finished Far Cry 3 because I don't know what it was that caused me to stop playing it. Something prevented me from finishing it, and I can't remember what it was.
It is a time burner.
I think it might have been that I died at one point between saves, and it really pissed me off because the respawn on it is not great.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of games like that.
Yeah. With Far Cry as well, you kind of have the big camps that you have to clear out, and if you do them wrong, sometimes it can take you ages if you try and do it stealthily, and then you fuck up, and then die and then have to start again, and that kind of frustration I can't deal with. But I liked Far Cry 3. 4 wasn't as good. I'm hoping for big things from 5. It's going to cost a fortune, but I'll be up game buying the gold edition on release day.
Be interested in if there was a special statue edition, because that dude is fucking awesome.
There is.
Yeah?
Yeah, the Father edition it's called.
Yeah, I'm kind of tempted now because it's been a while. I don't collect statues very often, but there's usually some reason or another for me to go for a statue edition. It's usually because of the character's pretty fucking awesome. Like my Kenway for Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, or my Claptrap from Borderlands 2.
I did have my little bobblehead Vase.
Yeah.
I think I won that from a game.
Just a little random statuette for certain games, just because you kind of need it.
Then my tight fucking dog ate it.
Yeah.
So he went in the bin, and I can't get him again.
I remember rightly, the little vase bobblehead makes appearances in 5. I think I remember being in at least one vehicle that had a vase bobblehead.
Yep.
In the front.
Yep. He's in the nearest truck that you get into in the little demo that we've played at Eurogamer.
It's really cool that the Far Cry universe is so self-aware that it just randomly grabs hold of the Vase bobblehead because it knows it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Vase is by far the greatest character that almost any video game company has come up with.
He's one of the best bad guys in video games. I personally, just because I love how comically evil he is, I love Radic from Killzone 2. But, excuse me, yeah, Vase up there, top 3 easily.
Killzone bad guys only really work because they're all fucking British.
Oh yeah, it was Jason Isaacs, I think, does Radic, but he is really good. Like he's played really well. He's written really well, and he's just this massive, menacing, insane bad guy that even after, and I'm definitely spoiling Killzone 2, but even after you get rid of the main bad guy, he's still there, fucking things up.
Yeah.
Radic is without a doubt my favourite video game bad guy, and has been for years. But yeah, Vase definitely up there. We're fucking rambling on, man. We finished the podcast like 10 minutes ago, and now we're just rambling.
This is the part that everybody likes, is us rambling about cool stuff that we really enjoy.
Says you.
Yeah. Let's just rename Character Unlock and move away from being a podcast about video games and let's just talk bullshit for an
John
hour.
and Brooker talking bollocks.
Yeah.
I'm alright with that.
Right. Let's just let's wrap things up the same way that we normally do. And Brooks, where can people find you if they're not already stalking you?
If they're not already stalking me, I'm over on Twitter. I'm at Brooker411, where I'll be tweeting lots about the insane horror films I'm watching over the next 3 days.
Oh yeah, CP asked about what the fuck Fright Fest was, so I kind of gave him a brief rundown that you were spending a weekend watching horror films that you probably wouldn't see in the cinema any other time.
Yeah, they never come to cinemas over here.
Yeah.
Right. What Fright Fest does, right? Really, if this goes on too long, I'll just cut it out. But what Fright Fest does, it basically gives me a list of horror films that I can recommend to people to go and find for a year.
Yeah. Go and look on iTunes or whatever it is.
Yeah, so basically my American iTunes account slowly fills up with the films I saw from last year's Fright Fest. Or at least the best ones anyway.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll see me get uber excited. A couple of years ago, I saw a film called My Father Died, which is just, it's like a hillbilly revenge film. It's fucking amazing. But it took an extra year for it to come out on DVD in this country. It never came out on Blu-ray. And then one day it suddenly appeared on iTunes. I was like, must buy it, because my missus missed it. She couldn't get to the Fright Fest for that day. So I bought it. So you got to fucking watch this. And she loved it. I came back with a few last year that were really, really good. Like, genuinely amazing films. Even if you're not a horror fan, you'd like these films. And a couple of them I bought. Again, has to be on fucking American iTunes, because they'll never come out over here. And again, she's absolutely loved them. So yeah, it's 2 days. Glasgow Fright Fest is just a weekend. It's Friday, Saturday, but they have special preview screenings on Thursday. So there's a film coming out in April called Ghost Stories, which is based on a stage play that there's going to be an early screening of there. But yeah, little horror films that no one ever really hears of unless you hang around in the kind of circles I hang around in.
Yeah. So, and myself, I'm the John_CU on Twitter and Xbox Live as Long Dong Silver. And if you aren't interested in, stalking us individually, you can find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube,
yep,
as Character Unlock in the search bar that you can put into all of those websites. We also have our own website of characterunlock.com. You're obviously listening to this podcast, so you already know where to find us on your podcast app of choice, or Podbean, as we're on there first.
Yeah. If you are happening to be listening to us on iTunes and you don't hate us, do stick a rating and review in, because it does help us out a little bit.
Yeah. So it's always nice to have numbers and people commenting to say what we're doing right, or more frequently what we're doing wrong.
Yeah.
Because we kind of just do this off the sake of doing it for ourselves, because we
just like talking shit for an hour and a half a week.
It was really beneficial for me and Brooker when we weren't working together, but now that we're back to working together again, we don't. we talk shit all the time, all day, every day.
Yeah. And yet we still manage to find shit to talk about when we do this fucking recording on a Wednesday night.
You can always tell which days that we've not spent, which recordings where we've spent a bit of less time together at work, because one of us has not been in for one reason or another. Yeah. And the ramblings get a bit ridiculous.
Ramblings always get ridiculous, I think, whether or not we talk. Dude, we're fucking rambling again.
Stop it! Fuck's sake, just because it's not one of your episodes.
Fucking hell, mate.
Right, we're done.
See us out, for crying out loud.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Brooks, say goodnight.
Good night, mate.
Bye, everyone.
Make the bad guys cry like an anime fan on prom night.